Footage of Roman Reigns silently watching backstage on Raw as Bron Breakker faces CM Punk. The camera doesn't cut to the ring. It cuts backstage. A long, quiet hallway beneath the arena. Blue lighting. Equipment cases lined up like soldiers. The hum of electricity in the air. No commentary. No music. Roman Reigns stands alone, arms crossed, jaw tight, eyes locked on a massive backstage monitor mounted to the wall. On the screen, Monday Night Raw is unfolding live. Bron Breakker, CM Punk, about to collide. Roman doesn't blink. The camera slowly moves closer, capturing the smallest details. The way Roman's fingers tighten against his bicep. The way his breathing is slow, controlled, almost predatory. This isn't curiosity. This is calculation. On the monitor, Bron Breakker storms to the ring, pacing like a wild animal. The crowd reacts loudly, but backstage, Roman hears none of it. All he sees is movement, power, explosiveness. Bron hits the ropes. Roman's eyes narrow. CM Punk's music hits. The crowd on the screen explodes, but Roman doesn't react. No smirk, no nod, just silent observation. Punk steps through the curtain on the monitor, soaking in the noise, but Roman studies something else. Punk's posture, the way he rolls his shoulders, the way he scans the crowd. Roman tilts his head slightly. He's seen this before. The bell rings on the monitor. Bron explodes forward. Roman's jaw tightens. Bron's speed catches Punk off guard early. Shoulder block. Punk goes down. Roman exhales slowly through his nose. Strength. Aggression. No patience. Bron lifts Punk and throws him halfway across the ring. The screen shakes from the impact. Roman shifts his weight. He's evaluating. Bron rushes again, but Punk sidesteps, clips the knee, pulls Bron into a quick roll-up. Roman's eyebrow raises slightly. Experience. Punk kicks at the legs, chops down the base, slows the pace. Roman watches carefully now. This isn't about who wins. It's about who survives. Bron powers out of a hold and launches Punk with a suplex that nearly folds him in half. Roman's eyes flicker. That suplex looked familiar. Too familiar. Roman adjusts his stance, uncrossing his arms briefly before folding them again. His breathing remains steady. On the screen, Punk struggles to get up. Bron stalks him, barking at the crowd, feeding off the chaos. Roman doesn't feed off anything. He absorbs. Bron charges for a spear. Punk moves. Bron crashes into the corner. Roman's lips press into a thin line. Mistake. Punk capitalizes with strikes, knees, quick transitions. He's not overpowering Bron. He's outthinking him. Roman nods once. Barely noticeable. The match intensifies. Punk is hurting. Bron is reckless. The referee is struggling to control the pace. Backstage, footsteps approach. Paul Heyman stops a few feet behind Roman. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. Roman knows he's there. On the screen, Bron catches Punk midair and slams him violently. The crowd roars. Heyman leans slightly closer. Roman doesn't turn. His eyes never leave the monitor. Bron lines up another spear. Roman's fingers tighten. Punk collapses at the last second. Bron hits the post. Roman exhales. Heyman finally speaks quietly. Very dangerous man. Roman responds without looking away. So is Punk. The referee goes down on the screen after a collision. The arena on the monitor erupts. Roman straightens slightly. This is where things change. The lights flicker on the screen. Heyman's eyes widen. Roman doesn't react. He's already expecting something. The screen goes dark, then returns. A figure appears on the stage. Hooded, unknown, the mystery man. Roman's eyes sharpen instantly. This isn't surprise. This is recognition of opportunity. Bron turns toward the stage on the monitor. Roman leans forward a fraction. Punk strikes. GTS. Bron collapses. Heyman whispers, almost to himself, interesting. The mystery man doesn't rush. He doesn't interfere directly. He simply exists. Roman understands immediately. Distraction is a weapon. The referee is dragged back into position. The count happens. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk wins. The crowd on the monitor explodes. Backstage, there is silence. Roman watches Punk roll away, exhausted. He watches Bron stir, furious, confused. He watches the mystery man stand beside Punk. Roman finally turns his head slightly toward Heyman. Now it's complicated. Heyman nods. Very. Roman turns back to the screen. The mystery man pulls his hood back slightly, but not enough for full clarity. Roman studies the body language. The stance. The confidence. Roman has seen alliances built like this before. He built one himself. On the screen, Punk grabs a microphone, talking about survival, about war, about needing someone who understands the battlefield. Roman scoffs softly, not in mockery, in acknowledgement. The camera backstage slowly pulls back, showing Roman standing alone again, watching Raw like a king studying a battlefield map. He doesn't clap, he doesn't smile, he doesn't react, because Roman Reigns doesn't watch matches for entertainment. He watches them to decide who matters. And tonight, two men just placed themselves directly in his line of sight. The screen fades to black. Roman Reigns remains, unmoved, unchallenged, but very aware. The camera fades back in. Same hallway, same blue lighting, same silence. Roman Reigns hasn't moved. The monitor still plays Raw, now showing replays of the finish. Slow motion, Punk's knee lifting, Bron's head snapping back, the referee's hand hitting the mat for the third time. Roman watches the replay once. He doesn't watch it again. He already understands it. Paul Heyman shifts slightly behind him, hands clasped together, eyes glued to Roman's reflection in the dark glass of the monitor. He's waiting. He always is. Roman finally speaks, quietly, almost thoughtfully. He didn't beat him clean. Heyman nods immediately. No, my tribal chief. But he won. Roman tilts his head, eyes still forward. Winning and proving something aren't the same. On the monitor, Bron Breakker is shown being helped to his feet by officials, shoving hands away, screaming, pacing like a caged animal. Roman's eyes follow every movement. Bron throws a monitor headset across the floor on screen. Roman exhales through his nose. He's dangerous when he's embarrassed. Heyman smiles nervously. Yes, he is. The screen cuts to CM Punk backstage now, being interviewed. Sweat dripping, chest rising and falling, Punk talks about survival again. About adapting. About war. Roman's lips curl into the faintest smirk. He talks too much. Heyman chuckles softly, then stops when Roman doesn't. Roman continues, but he's still dangerous. The camera angle tightens on Roman's face. The intensity is different now. Sharper. Focused. This isn't observation anymore. This is planning. On the screen, the mystery man walks beside Punk, never speaking, never acknowledging the camera. His presence alone creates noise. Roman studies him harder than he studied the match. The posture, the confidence, the lack of hesitation. Roman's eyes narrow. He's not muscle, Roman says. Heyman blinks. No, Roman replies. He's insurance. Heyman nods slowly, understanding. A contingency. Roman finally turns away from the monitor and starts walking down the hallway. The camera follows him from the side. Long strides, controlled pace. As he walks, the sounds of Raw fade further away. The cheers, the boos, the chaos upstairs. Backstage, everything is calm. Roman stops near a junction where several hallways meet. He turns slightly, looking at another smaller monitor mounted to the wall. This one shows a live shot of Bron Breakker being restrained by officials. Bron breaks free and shoves someone hard into a wall. Roman watches. He doesn't know where to point that anger, Roman says. Heyman swallows. Not yet. Roman finally turns fully toward Heyman. And when he does, the room feels smaller. That's how you lose control. Heyman nods. And control is everything. Roman stares at the screen again as Bron is finally escorted away. He'll come looking, Roman says. Heyman smiles carefully. Yes, he will. Roman's eyes shift back to Punk on the other monitor. Punk is laughing now, tired, victorious, confident. Roman's expression hardens. And Punk? Roman asks. Heyman answers instantly. Punk believes he's one step ahead. Roman shakes his head slowly. He's 2 steps behind. The camera cuts back to the arena feed. Punk and the mystery man stand in the ring one last time, soaking in the crowd reaction. Roman watches the crowd more than the men. The signs, the chants, the energy. Roman crosses his arms again. They're cheering because they think something changed. Heyman responds softly. Did it? Roman doesn't answer immediately. He watches Punk raise his hand. Watches Bron disappear up the ramp. Watches Raw move on. Then Roman speaks. Something always changes. He turns and walks away from the monitors, deeper into the backstage area. The camera lingers on the screens behind him. Punk celebrating. Bron raging. The mystery man silent. Roman's footsteps echo. As he walks, another figure appears at the end of the hallway. A producer. Nervous. Holding a clipboard. Tribal chief, the producer says hesitantly. We were wondering if. Roman doesn't stop walking. Doesn't slow down. Doesn't look at him. No, Roman says calmly. The producer freezes, unsure what he even asked. Roman continues past him. Heyman follows closely. They reach Roman's private locker room area. Guards stand outside. Roman stops at the door but doesn't enter. He turns back toward the direction of the arena. Toward the noise. Toward Raw. Let them fight, Roman says. Heyman's eyes widen slightly. All of them. Roman nods. Eventually, they all look up. He opens the door. Steps inside. The door closes behind him. The camera stays outside for a moment, then slowly pans back down the empty hallway. The monitors continue to play. Raw continues. But somewhere beneath the arena, Roman Reigns has already moved on to the next chapter. And whatever happens next, will happen on his terms. The door shuts. The sound is soft, but final. Inside Roman Reigns' locker room, the world is quiet. No monitors. No crowd noise. Just the low hum of air vents and the faint echo of Raw still happening somewhere far above. Roman stands in the center of the room. Doesn't sit. Doesn't remove his jacket. He stares at the wall. Paul Heyman remains near the door, hands folded, waiting for permission to speak. He's learned not to rush moments like this. Roman breaks the silence. They think tonight was about Punk and Breakker. Heyman nods. The audience usually only sees what's in front of them. Roman turns slightly. That's why they're always behind. Heyman allows a small smile. And you're always ahead, my tribal chief. Roman finally sits, lowering himself onto the bench slowly, deliberately. He rests his forearms on his thighs, fingers interlocked. His eyes are distant now, not focused on one thing but many. On Raw above them, the broadcast continues. Matches, promos, noise, none of it matters. Roman speaks again. Breakker doesn't lose often. Heyman answers carefully. No, and when he does, it's rarely clean. Roman nods. He won't accept that. Heyman leans forward slightly. Men like him never do. Roman stands back up, pacing now. Slow steps. Measured. He's going to break something. Heyman raises an eyebrow. Someone. Roman stops pacing. Both. Heyman exhales softly. And Punk. Roman turns to him. And Punk thinks he outsmarted the Storm. Roman's lips curl faintly. Storms don't get outsmarted. There's a knock at the door. Heyman stiffens. Roman doesn't. Enter. The door opens slowly. An agent steps in, nervous, eyes darting between Roman and Heyman. Sir, the agent says, Bron Breakker just refused medical. He shoved security and said he wants Punk. Tonight. Roman doesn't react. Heyman does. Tonight. The agent nods. He's demanding it. Roman walks past the agent and opens the door wider, looking out into the hallway. That's exactly what he'd do. The agent swallows. What should we tell him? Roman thinks for a moment. Then, nothing. The agent hesitates. Sir. Roman turns back to him, eyes sharp but calm. Let him make noise. The agent nods quickly and leaves. Heyman watches Roman closely now. You're letting it burn. Roman answers without looking at him. I'm letting it show. Heyman nods slowly, understanding the strategy unfolding. On a monitor just outside the locker room, the camera catches Bron Breakker storming through the backstage area, shoving crew members aside, screaming Punk's name. Roman steps just close enough to the doorway to see the screen from an angle. He watches Bron's rage, his impatience, his lack of control. Roman shakes his head once. He's not ready. Heyman says quietly, he thinks he is. Roman replies, that's worse. The screen cuts to CM Punk now, exiting the locker room area with the mystery man behind him. Punk is still talking, still confident, still energized by the win. Roman studies him carefully. The mystery man lingers behind Punk, always half a step back. Silent, observant. Roman's eyes narrow again. He's the key, Roman says. Heyman follows his gaze. You think he's the real threat? Roman shakes his head. No. He pauses. He's the door. Heyman's expression changes. To what? Roman turns away from the screen. To chaos. The arena feed suddenly cuts to security separating Bron from officials again. Bron is yelling now, veins bulging, face red with fury. The crowd can hear it. The audience is feeding off it. Roman steps back fully into the locker room. Chaos always exposes people, Roman says. Who panics? Who hides? Who reaches for help? Heyman nods. And who leads? Roman looks at him. Exactly. Another knock. This one firmer. Roman doesn't answer immediately. The door opens anyway. An official steps in, more confident, clipboard in hand. Roman, he says, trying to sound professional, Adam Pearce wants to know if you're willing to comment on what just happened. Roman doesn't even look at him. No, The official hesitates. He says this situation might involve you soon. Roman finally turns, and the look stops the official cold. If it involves me, Roman says calmly, I'll decide when. The official nods quickly and backs out. The door closes again. Heyman exhales. They're circling. Roman nods. They always do. He sits again. This time, he leans back. Comfortable, confident. On Raw above them, Punk and Bron are shown being pulled in opposite directions, screaming at each other through security. The mystery man watches it all unfold, unreadable. Roman watches that part closely. Everyone thinks power is volume, Roman says. It's not. Heyman listens. Power is patience. The camera slowly pulls back from Roman's locker room door, the noise of Raw fading again as the corridor stretches empty. Up above, the show races forward. Down below, Roman Reigns waits. And waiting has always been his greatest weapon.